Nah, I figured it out. If you pay attention to art throughout the ages, there's one thing that always stands out, right? The artists put a lot of effort and attention towards the face of the characters. There's a reason for this though, We as humans tend to look for faces or human features in everything in life. So the more accurately something reflects what our brain sees as a human face, the more likely it is to stay in our minds. Which is exactly what turns a piece from just random lines to an eye-catching work of art. And bro, I got just a skill for you today. That's right, we're talking about portraits today. Really try to deep this though. Portraits are all about the art of capturing a person's story and emotion through a bust shot. This method allows for you to put more details into the clothing, face, and hair. Things that wouldn't have been as visible if you zoomed out. I know you get that though. You're a smart guy, bro. I'm sure you can put two and two together and realize that getting better at portraits will also improve your ability to draw the face and expressions overall, which will make people care more about the art you put out, if that matters to you, of course. I already know what you're thinking. Okay, bro, if that's the case, how can I actually gain that skill? And that's where I come in. Don't go down to your recommendations and don't open another tab so you can multitask. Block off all distractions and give me 5 minutes of your time. I promise you that at the end of this video, you know exactly what to do. I bet. So the first thing I did was go back to the fundamentals again. I challenged myself to draw the skull 15 times over from different angles, just so I could get more familiar with what it's supposed to look like. I put a link in the description so you can search up the exact reference I used for this practice. Just between you and me, bro, there were times where I wanted to move on to the next step. But I'm so glad I stuck to my challenge and saw it through all the way. Some keynotes I took were that the eyes are not as high up as I thought they were. I kept giving people foreheads that were way too small. And I also tend to make the cranium way smaller than I'm supposed to, but hey, these are things I pay attention to now. Another thing is that it's actually easier to draw the face using the nose as a main form of measurement because it balances the eyes, mouths, and ears. That's just something to keep in mind though. As you try this, you'll notice your own bad habits and be able to fix them up too. After that, I did the same thing but with a sorrow head. For those that don't know, this is another helpful tool that you can use to practice drawing an accurate but simplified head from any angle you want. I'll give you the link to this too. Man, don't even worry. I just took the angles that I was most interested in, and this time I kept going until I felt like I got a good feel for it. I went from being able to draw the head in at least 1 hour to being able to draw it more accurately in 17 minutes. The more you practice it, the more you start to notice the connections. And once you see those, drawing it will become easy for you. My tip to you, bro, is to not stick to an angle for too long. Just give it an attempt, and once you're done, you're done. C'est fini. The point of studying isn't to replicate things perfectly, but to understand why things look the way they look, and how you can use that in your own work. So once you see that the shape you drew resembles the same features as your reference, make some notes on what you could improve, and move on to the next angle. Keep going until you feel like you learn what you wanted to learn. Now from this point on, there's 2 ways you can go. You could either A, go practice on portrait drawing by studying portrait photography to build up your visual library of what a realistic portrait is supposed to look like. Or B, do what I did and go straight to stylized portraits. Here's some that really caught my eye, and here's how things turned out the first time I tried. Not that great, right? It's calm though. Failing is a part of the process. I clearly haven't gained enough experience with drawing portraits, so I didn't expect to be able to replicate this perfectly. I was glad to see that my lines were way more confident and I was able to get the general gist of these images down. I was looking for new ways to add more detail to the eyes and, a style that I actually like, and even though I didn't necessarily find that, I still picked up some valuable experience. So, here are the 5 key points you need to remember if you want to pick up the skill of portrait drawing. 1. Start with the fundamentals. Practice the skull and the sorrow head until you're satisfied with the experience you gain. 2. When you're studying, do so with a goal. Ask yourself, what do I want to learn? And focus on that skill during your studies. 3. Now is the time for you to build up your taste. Do some research, portrait drawings in the styles that you like. Make a collection of your favorite pieces. Look at different artists, see if you can find somebody new. 4. Now that you build up your taste, practice and study those references. This will teach you what actually goes into a good portrait. And 5. Apply all that you learned to your own piece now. If you did things right, it should be a lot better. If you're still unsatisfied, go back to step 1 and work your way down. Here's what I managed to make after going through this 1-week bootcamp. It's pretty tough, isn't it? If you feel like you need some more assistance or you want some personal feedback while you're going through this bootcamp, just book a coaching session with me so I can be there for you. Good luck and God bless.